So let me know when I got you. So James Gunn DC situation. It's about that time. Now, this is the main event, I would say, of tonight. We're gonna still react to things, but this is the real main event of this because I just did a video on the Lanterns, so I'm gonna be talking a lot throughout this video about this James Gunn DCU situation. Shout out to Emergency Awesome for putting out this video, for keeping us up on content on DC. I want to know what's James Gunn future looking like. I want to know what movies he's looking at. I want to know how Paramount is looking at him and how all this shit gonna situate. Because you got the Green Lantern writer talking about some bullshit, talking about Green stupid, joking, and then you got all type of the Paramount shit, buying them, being in debt, they being in debt, and them being in debt. You got James Gunn switching shit back and forth, but now he got a clean, like it looked like he got a clean slate with it. You got the people hating on the Green Lantern shit, so there's a lot of shit going on in DC right now, bro. So I think this would be a good video to start off with. All right, James, let's see what you got.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Recently,
That's nasty.
Brothers announced that it was accepting Paramount's bid to buy the company after it offered significantly more money than Netflix. Right after that all went down, a lot of people were claiming that James Gunn would be quitting DC when his contract was up at the end of 2027. So I know there are a lot of questions about quitting DC. Right after that all went down, a lot of people were claiming that James Gunn would be quitting DC when his contract was up at the end
Cap.
of 2027. So I know there are a lot
They
of
just be saying shit.
that. In David Ellison, the person leading the buyout,
He quit a job, but he's earning money from
initial plans for how this would affect Warner Brothers, the company in general.
Big up, Charlie.
DCU, things like HBO, all the big parts of Warner Brothers. And a lot of that included James Gunn in the DCU movies that he's in the middle of releasing right now. So we will explain what David Ellison and Paramount Brass have actually said about their plans for the future of the DCU.
That's not what he tweeted.
Movie, all the big parts of Warner Brothers. And a lot of that included James Gunn in the DCU movies that he's in the middle of releasing right now.
Who leaked this? Someone's getting fired.
So we will explain what David Ellison and Paramount Brass have actually said about their...
Real quick, because me and Keon talked about it in Discord. This man, and you could join Discord below, it's in the description. But this man said, this man James Gunn be coming out on Twitter and be like responding to people like he isn't the fucking like head of creator of DC. It's just crazy to me. Like, do your job, bro. Like, stop responding to trolls, bro. You ain't gotta respond to every troll, nigga. You acting like a YouTuber. You responding to trolls and shit. You're the head of creator of DC, bro. The fact that you're responding to trolls is crazy to me. Imagine Kevin Feige responding to trolls, nigga.
Plans for the future of the DC universe, Warner Brothers, HBO in general, specifically going forward, and primarily focused on the movies and TV shows. Technically, this also includes DC Comics publishing too, but most of the time when these big money people, like these big companies, talk about the future of the DC brand, they're really just talking about mostly the film and TV.
And I wouldn't even mind a movie between these two. I wouldn't actually mind it. I think they actually go well together. Because he's more of a different style. And Superman is more. It's like I wouldn't mind it, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind seeing how it would work, you know, because I want to see that Batman 2 movie. I wouldn't mind it. Lobo look weak. Yes, he did. What's it say? Sab said, "Word to bro, it's embarrassing."
Side of things, like the real big money side.
I don't know what James doing on Twitter, bro.
Doing a town hall meeting to Paramount investors right after the buyout deal was announced. So there's a lot of dry data numbers he talks about. There's a lot of hype that he's giving here to investors and people like shareholders that they really care about making happy. Not necessarily the fans. Like most corporate overlords, they care way more about making investors happy than they care about making general fans happy.
Yeah.
For a total of at least 30 films annually. We've already demonstrated our ability to increase output, with 15 plus films currently dated for 2026, up from 8 releases in 2025 when Paramount combined with Skydance. At the same time, Warner Bros. Pictures delivered a powerhouse slate last year, with Superman, Minecraft, and Sinners propelling the studio fast.
Yeah, that Sinners did that shit, nigga.
We've also echoed our commitment.
Oh, that Minecraft hit too.
There are a couple of notable things in that small part of his larger talk. Like, it was a very long presentation that he gave. The biggest being that Paramount, David Ellison, really liked James Gunn and DCU movies. He doesn't
Simple. So what the fuck is the talk about? Whoever that nigga to speak was he's the outspokesman of the fucking Paramount right now. And that nigga just said he liked James Gunn movies. GG's. But he's saying, what the fuck? What are we talking about here? He likes his products, so he's gonna give him a chance. Now he could be saying that for PR purposes and because they're gonna keep putting out these movies. But I mean, let's listen to this again, for niggas in the back can hear to what he said. You know. Good job, Emergency Awesome. Good job giving us actual information instead of like putting out trolls and doing this and that AI type shit. This is real.
Like a lot of hype that he's giving here to investors and people like shareholders that they really care about making happy, not necessarily the fans. Like most corporate overlords, they care way more about making investors happy than they care about making general fans happy.
For a total of at least 30 films annually. We've already demonstrated our ability to increase output, with 15 plus films currently dated for 2026.
15 films dated for 2026. Now, somebody said they're supposed to be putting out 30 films. Somebody told me that.
Investors happy than they care about making general fans happy.
For a total of at least 30 films annually.
So he wants to put out a total of 30 films annually. I don't think that means out in the theaters. I think that means some of them gonna come on Paramount Plus. Some of them gonna be in the theaters. Because if you did 15, you want to times that shit by 2. Unless you want to do that shit. Like, that shit crazy to me.
We've already demonstrated our ability to increase output, with 15 plus films currently dated for 2026, up from 8 releases in 2025 when Paramount combined with Skydance. At the same time, Warner Bros. Pictures.
You know what, they can do it now that I'm thinking about it, because you got Skydance, you got Paramount, you guys. Yeah, you can put out 30 films. Yeah, you can.
Delivered a powerhouse slate last year, with Superman, Minecraft, and Sinners propelling the studio.
They went crazy.
$4 in box office.
$4 billion. That was good.
We've also echoed our commitment to a minimum 40.
There are a couple of notable things in that
That was good, bro.
Small part of his larger talk. Like, it was a very long presentation that he gave. The biggest being that Paramount, David Ellison, really liked James Gunn and DCU movies. He doesn't specifically mention any of the TV shows. That's wrapped up more in their larger plans for the future of HBO Max and the Paramount Plus streaming networks. We'll get to that because, yes, they will combine those two streaming networks into a single one.
Mm-hmm.
We will combine the streaming portfolios of the two companies into one stronger platform over the coming years.
But notice he specifically talked about James Gunn's
confirmation. One platform. You gotta buy 2. Can only have 1, so that'd be cool.
Superman movie as one of Warner Brothers' powerhouse successes.
Real quick, bro. This nigga right here. I hated this fucking character in this fucking movie. It's trash. It was Metamorpho. I hated this nigga.
Specifically talked about James Gunn's Superman.
Made him look like a goof.
As one of Warner Brothers' powerhouse successes, generating a lot of their profits. There was a big discussion going on the past couple of weeks. Why Warner Brothers
shit, my audio been fucking low. Holy shit. Turn it up.
Cared about selling itself at all because they were so profitable in the last couple of years. And David Ellison.
It been low that whole time? Has it been low to y'all? Oh no. It been low that whole fucking time, bro. That shit was low as shit. It was like half meter. Okay, I'm put it there. Because I feel like my mic is pretty loud. Alright.
Is even hyping up the Superman movies being a big piece of that, a big reason why they were so profitable. I know there was a lot of drama, a lot of questions about whether or not the new Superman movie actually made money, how much money it made, because they took it out of theaters earlier than expected. James Gunn made this whole big excuse about why, saying there were a lot of different factors, but not getting into super big specifics, why he wanted fans to see it before they watched Peacemaker Season 2. That was a little more evident. So much of the plot and the cameos in season 2 relied on you having seen Superman to understand what was going on, why was Lex Luthor in prison, and so much of the season was dedicated to setting up Superman 2, Man of Tomorrow, which took place right after the events of Peacemaker season 2. There's also this classic term,
Yeah, you gotta watch
at
that.
least somewhere, called Hollywood accounting, where all movie studios, not just Warner Brothers, Netflix, everybody, every movie studio, will mess with their earnings and numbers on tax returns to try and avoid having to pay any taxes if possible. And it makes it extremely hard to know whether or not a movie actually made any money, because Marvel, really good example,
So they're trying to flop?
made over $2 billion on both Avengers Endgame and Infinity War in back-to-back years at the box office, and even more money than that on the merchandise and the home video, like all the stuff after the movies came out.
Okay.
And on paper, they make it seem like the movies barely earned any profit.
Because how much it makes to make them? Business. James Gunn wanted more attention on Peacemaker season 2. That's why Superman was pulled from the theaters. Yeah, that was a thing.
So a lot of times the best indicator for whether or not a movie is successful, like the Superman movie, for instance, is if people...
You made this shit. Hey, that's Jody and that's James, nigga. I need to screenshot this. That's too funny, bro. That's funny, my nigga. That's hilarious.
that are making the movies get to make more movies, because if it's not successful, they're not going to let you make 10 more movies. And you'll remember a couple years ago, Warner Brothers brass, David Zaslav, would not stop hyping up James Gunn like he was the second coming of Christ, and now David Ellison is hyping up James Gunn at the DCU
Like
as part
he
of
was the
larger
second
report that
coming
Paramount
of
released about the
Christ.
future of their plans for DC. So
He was
it's
hyping that
basically
nigga
rundown
up. I ain't
of,
gonna
a lot
lie.
of big bullet points in what they're initially planning on doing. Paramount ultimately wants James Gunn to stick around and continue running his DCU with Peter Safran, his partner, after the buyout is finished and the two companies have fully been combined. His current contract is up at the end of 2027.
You already know my prediction, bro. I predict that Paramount ain't gonna get this shit. Warner Brothers is just gonna take their 10 bill and they're gonna go on their way once this shit go left, nigga. And then Netflix gonna be at the end like this. That's my prediction.
This is next year as of me posting this video.
Because Paramount bought them while they're in debt to pay their debt. That's setting you up for failure.
But it's been a hell of a ride. See you for the next one.
The actual buyout is going to take at least 2 to 3 years to complete. Until then, Paramount doesn't fully own Warner Brothers and won't really be able to change any movies or TV shows James Gunn is currently
2 to 3 years.
in the middle of making, even if they wanted to.
2 to 3 years.
Supergirl
It's gonna take 2 to 3 years to actually buy it out. It's like a part ownership of it, but to buy it is gonna take 2 to 3 years. And I don't think Warner Brothers is gonna fall for that. I think it's not gonna get passed by the because they gotta go through the Congress, and I don't think that shit gonna get passed because they're gonna look and they're gonna say, but you're in debt though, so why you want to buy them? And then they're gonna think about it, or they could just say, you know what, go ahead, go, both y'all go bankrupt together.
Clayface, Lanterns still coming out this year the way they originally planned. Superman 2, Man of Tomorrow, the Batman 2 coming out next year. James Gunn hasn't announced their 2028 movie release schedule.
Supergirl, June 26, 2026. Okay. Lanterns to be determined. I thought they put a release on it. Clayface, September 11th. I thought they moved that to October. Is this old shit? Man, tomorrow, July 9th. The Batman Part 2, October 1st. What is this? What am I looking at?
Well, yet, but he'll get to make whichever movies he originally planned on making that he wants to make, you know, like which
Who created this shit?
Man 2 coming out next year. James Gunn hasn't announced their 2028 movie release schedule yet.
Did he release this? I remember In Development, Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, DC Superpower. I don't remember that. Creature Commando Season 2. Meister Miracle animated, My Adventures with Green Lantern animated, My Adventures with Superman season 3, Paradise Lost, I don't know if that's coming out, Starfire animated, Waller, yeah.
But he'll get to make whichever movies he originally planned on making that he wants to make, you know, like
In development, Bane and Deathstroke, Sergeant Rock, Swamp Thing. Yeah, I remember Swamp Thing was supposed to come out. Remember that? So it was supposed to be a Swamp Thing movie. Teen Titans,
whichever wind up making it to production. In
The Authority, The Brave and the Bold,
Paramount won't be ordering him to make something else that he didn't want to make
Wonder
in
Woman, yeah.
that year. The reasons why Paramount wants
Mr. Miracle will be awesome. That'll introduce the general audience to the Fourth World lore.
James Gunn to stay is mostly money and stability. They're not the best buds or anything like that. Like, he's not buddy-buddy with David Ellison or anything like that. This is all about long-term profits. They really only care about making money. And currently, Paramount Brass does not want to have to fully reboot the DCU another time so soon after James Gunn.
No, they don't. That's why I did. Why would they want to reboot the DC again? There will be more money put into that. You already got some good. Keep it moving. Keep going up with it. You got some good. It made some money. Keep it going, bro. Go as long as you can until you get that hit. Because you want that hit. Superman wasn't a hit. Regardless of people, it wasn't a hit. It was liked a lot. It was liked by the public, but it wasn't a hit. You need a hit. And just keep going until you get that hit. As long as you keep on making good movies, and then you get that number one. See, I said I was going to stop if believing that DC would be a competition with MCU in that Green Lantern video about the dude saying green is stupid, and it's live on my live channel, part of my live channel. You can see that video. But there's never been competition with MCU and DC. It never was, and now I know that.
Have to start.
Is that John Baptist said explain? You know what I'm talking about, John. There's never been competition. Never been competition. I don't know why I hope that there will be competition. There is no competition. It's never been, my nigga. I hope that, you know, James Gunn was that guy to get it there, because, you know, he came up with the Infinity Saga. He did these type of things. Came up with maybe the MCU formula. And I'm thinking like, maybe he the one to give it the competition to the MCU. But at the end of the day, there's never been competition. There never will be. Are you talking about Superman not being a hit? Superman wasn't. I'm talking about like a box office hit. It wasn't a box office hit. It was cool. It was good. Minecraft, that was a box office hit. Hit $1 billion. If it's a box office hit, like, it has to be like a Sinners movie to me. I don't know if that's a box office hit. It's a hit in the public of the eyes, but it's not a hit in the box office hit. I think they're in debt, so they need a box office hit, bro. They need a box office hit, dog.
Again, they currently want James Gunn to stay longer term.
Like you could do like a random character, like Superman making 600 is not a box office hit. For example, they do a Booster Gold movie, and Booster Gold hits fucking 600-700. That's a box office hit, because no one fucking knew Booster Gold. The fact so many people would go and see that is crazy. You don't need to make a bill to be a box office hit. What's up, X-Files? He said DC isn't in good hands. DC not gonna rise up. You an MCU fan though, bro, so I'll take that with a grain of salt. Sav said MCU still clear, even though these last 5 years have been shaky as fuck. Still going with Doomsday coming. Hashtag MCU rises. MCU already rose, but you know they kind of went down with the She-Hulk shit, and they kind of went down. But Kevin Feige warned us, my nigga. He said these movies are gonna be pushed by a woman, and you're gonna love it. And we, in fact, didn't love it. But at least he said it, nigga. John Bell said MCU is the king. Yeah, enough said. I agree.
Continue his vision for the DCU. The reason why you saw people saying that James Gunn would quit after his contract was up in 2027 was just a bunch of randos speculating. If you actually watch what James Gunn was saying throughout this whole Paramount
just
Netflix
talking,
Warner
bro.
Brothers saga the past couple of months, he actually seemed pretty excited by the future post-merger in that things would be more than all right, and that's not something that you say if you plan on bailing next year. The main reason I saw people speculating, Jamie, if you plan on
James Gunn tell me everything is going to be all right, everything okay.
Bailing next year. The main reason I saw people speculating James Gunn would want to leave, like why he'd even want to go, was Paramount messing with his creative plans for the DC movies, and they start ordering him to follow their plans. And the only people right now that really need to be worried about something like that, about getting messed with in that kind of way, would probably be political commentators in shows like CNN. James Gunn has always been very outspoken about his beliefs, and a lot of them are very different from David Ellison's political beliefs, but both of them are businessmen, and at worst, what you would probably see longer term, the most Paramount would mess
real businessman, put that shit aside.
With the future DC movies would just be asking James Gunn to prioritize what Paramount feels would be the most financially successful movies and TV shows driven by their data.
You got to.
It is always going to come back
That's
to fundamentally being about what makes the most money. Paramount is taking on $80 billion in debt buying Warner Brothers right now.
God.
Literally all they care about is just making as much money.
Bro, the Chicago, we owe that shit right now to the fucking Saudis, my nigga, for this parking ticket toll shit. Niggas gonna buy parking meters and put them in Chicago, and then they gave us a little money. Now we in debt $70 billion for the next 70 years. What the fuck? The fuck? That's basically Warner Brothers, nigga. Chicago is Warner Brothers. That's why this nigga. That's why they got Gotham, nigga.
As fast as possible. So at least as long as James Gunn's DCU continues to be successful financially, they're not really going to mess with his creative vision. Feet to the fire, though, unless there's some disaster in the next couple of years, I don't think that James Gunn would even think about quitting DC until after he's completed his full DC Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters, the new DC Phase 1.
Yeah, he at least got to get through Phase 1.
Hiring.
So, Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and games.
I remember
this is
that.
meant to culminate in a big Justice League style team up crossover movie, like the formation of the Justice League from the current Justice Gang. A lot of people also missed that he detailed his plans for a 4-movie Superman arc for David Corns with Superman. So Superman and the Man of Tomorrow movie are like the first 2 in that, assuming some other Superman-focused 3rd movie in a trilogy after Man of Tomorrow, and then the 4th one would be the Justice League style team-up crossover ending Chapter 1. When you 4th an arc for David Corns with Superman. So Superman and the Man of Tomorrow movie are like the first 2 in that, assuming some other Superman-focused 3rd movie in a trilogy after Man of Tomorrow, and then the 4th one would be the Justice League style team-up crossover ending Chapter 1.
I mean, to be fair, for a first, movie, if it's an arc, then that was a good first arc. That was a good first movie to an arc.
When you think about how many other big A-list Justice League characters they still have
unbiasedly
to introduce, it's probably going to take them at least 4 to 5 years to get to that big crossover team-up style movie.
Absolutely.
They
maybe
still have
6.
to introduce the DCU Batman.
Oh, yeah, I remember they had this nigga Creature Commandos. Nigga was looking big as hell.
And do the Batman break.
Look at that nigga legs, my nigga. Thighs. He gonna be a big Batman, dog. James Gunn gonna bring that big Batman. That's what we need. We don't need no skinny Batman, dog. Nah, Batman to be big, buff.
The Bold movie introduced the new Wonder Woman, the new Flash, and so on. There's just a lot of characters left to introduce, and it's going to take them a couple years at least to do that. What'll happen after the big team-up movie does end up getting released is that James Gunn will just decide whether or not he wants to sign up for another 10-year tour of duty through another full phase of movies like DC Chapter 2, whatever he calls that. Or if he wants to back off and just make his own movies, develop his own stuff, and just make a couple movies every couple of years. Or even go back to Marvel if he wants. There's also been a lot of speculation about him pushing off DCU, Batman, Brave and the Bold, and all of his
We
plans
better get that
Robert
Brave and the
Pattinson's
Bold,
Batman,
bro.
Matt Reeves, and him making a trilogy of movies.
I'm more interested in Brave and the Bold than Matt Reeves' Batman. I need to get that out right now.
James Gunn, every once in a while, he'll come out to try and put down a lot of false rumors. Most recently, what he's explained is that he's just letting Matt Reeves go at his own pace, just do things the way that Matt Reeves wants to do them, and it sounds like they will let him make a trilogy eventually, and James Gunn won't wait to do his DCU Batman for any of Matt Reeves' movies, but also that he's not going to release 2 different Batman movies.
There go James Gunn, replying to people on Twitter. Rewinding Film says, "Hey James, around what time this year do you think it would be likely we see a Brave and the Bold update?" 2 minutes later, this nigga respond. Free time this nigga ass. "I'm dependent on when there's an actual action able script ready, so there is no way of me guessing this. Also, frankly, we're well into Batman 2, and I wouldn't want to cloud the Batsphere," that's a word, "until after that." So he's giving him time.
Him make a trilogy eventually, and James Gunn
First
won't
time in a
wait to
Batsphere,
do his
nigga.
DCU Batman for any of Matt Reeves' movies, but also that he's not going to release 2 different Batman movies in the same year. So his Batman Brave and the Bold won't come out in the same year as one of Matt Reeves' Batman movies.
I'm cool with that.
But a lot of people
I
are
don't
also
think they
asking,
should.
Paramount isn't going to force James Gunn to...
Is there a chance? Look, Riz, he's responding to a nigga named Riz Brave. This is what he's doing on Twitter or whatever this is. Is there a chance Robert Pattinson could play the DCU Batman, even as a sort of variant, disconnected from the Matt Reeves movies? James Gunn responds 2 minutes later, "No."
turn Robert Pattinson
Hell no. That nigga said to say hell no.
Batman or anything like that. If Matt Reeves and
You might as well, you put a no in a dot, you might as well put hell no.
Pattinson don't want to be associated with the DCU, James Gunn isn't going to make them, and Paramount isn't.
But I'll tell you this, even with him going on Twitter and responding to people, maybe it's a good thing. Like, he's actually communicating with the fan base. And actually, that's what the fans been talking about, right? We want communication, right? So he's actually doing that. So he's giving the people what they want, I guess.
Going to force that to happen either. You have to remember, it's all about money, so as long as Matt Reeves' Batman movies keep making money, Paramount likes money, they'll let him continue making those movies. And the same thing for James Gunn with his DCU Batman. As long as it makes money, they literally will not care.
Savin, John Bepp going at it.
In the comments below, and whether or not you want to see James Gunn stay on for another 10-year tour of duty after his DC chapter.
See, 10 years is crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. 10 years is nuts. Now, I say, finish this shit off that you won't. I say 20. I'm 26, my nigga. This shit started. He started like last year, so he started when I was 25. So, end this shit when I'm 29, 28, and then we can see where we are.
Chapter 1 is done, or if you're fine with him leaving if he does want to leave after that. I know there's going to be 1,000 different questions about all these specific movies that are coming up and other characters that they're having.
10 years is crazy,
you have to remember,
though, bro.
Supergirl is like the next real big movie. They'll probably introduce a couple other concepts, tease some future things, because it's a big cosmic movie that we haven't seen before in the DCU. And after that, we'll get Lanterns. And even though
he has to get out of chapter phase first, and then we'll see if he should stay or not. Yeah, I agree with that.
It is very terrestrial. The people that actually made Lanterns have said that there is a lot of cosmic stuff baked into it. They just made that first teaser feel way more down-to-earth, Twin Peaks, True Detective style, but probably saving a lot of the more space-based, a lot of more crazy cosmic stuff for future teasers, because they're not really worried about appealing to comic book
future
fans.
teasers,
they're
nigga.
Really trying to appeal to the casual.
We better get a trailer. What the fuck?
A Green Lantern series that looks
X-Files. To keep it 100, Supergirl will flop. And also, Green Lantern HBO show will follow. You are a hater, nigga. Damn, nigga. Damn. Look, bro, Supergirl going against Spider-Man. So if it flops, understandable, right? Green Lantern doing bad. kind of understandable. No one cares about Green Lantern. So, in actuality, you might be right.
More like traditional Green Lantern stuff.
But if Supergirl beats the odds, then you gotta eat crow, nigga. If Supergirl does, how much does Supergirl gotta make, X-Files? How much does Supergirl gotta make for it to not flop? I need a number. If Supergirl make 500 million, so it's not a flop if it don't make 500 million. I mean, it's not a flop if it makes 500 million. Supergirl is good in my book. Okay, so you think it's gonna make 500? Ali says, all I'm saying is this look at the direction that the DCU was going in, and honestly tell me with general, I need a new monitor. That's why I'm fucking reading like a fucking kindergarten. I can't see this shit. I'm squinting. Generally, sincerity that is going good. Ali, I don't think he only put out Superman, so that's really the only thing I could really judge it off of. In a Lantern trailer, you can go Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos to me was good. I liked it, but that's an animated show. If we're just talking about movie wise, live action movies, we only got one, and people actually liked it. I don't think it was a box office hit, but I think it was a hit for the fans, and they liked it.
Lantern's episodes aren't starting till August, so they'll probably start dropping way more
I don't think this movie is probably overhated, I think.
footage as we get closer to the Supergirl movie coming out too. Whatever they wind up releasing, of course I will do videos for, and hopefully we'll find out more news about some of the other big characters like The Flash, Wonder Woman, some of the other big Justice League A-list characters. So everybody click here for my new Lanterns trailer video, and click here for...
Okay. Good video about Emergency Awesome. I'm going to get to another topic real quick here. But, hey, did your thing. Put in the comments below what you think. Are you going to give... I'm out. Giving James Gunn 10 years is crazy. That's crazy, nigga. No, I am not giving him 10 years. But I will give him a chance. And Superman was a part of the chance. Like, that's just one movie, bro. Supergirl got to come out. Lantern got to come out. Clayface got to come out. At least, I'm just saying this, at least give him to the end of the year. This is part of his second shit. Or his first shit. He ain't even finished his first shit. Imagine you script writing some shit and you giving it to the to your teacher some shit and he analyzing it or something. And you just script writing, you ain't even done. You just hey, this is the first part and I gotta finish the second part now. You know what your teacher gonna say, you know what your professor gonna say. I finish it, then let me get it. Then let me analyze it. You gotta finish. They messed up when they chose Supergirl to be the second movie. Okay, that's a point. They should have went more, streamlined with it. Oh, that's a good point. The Superman, you come up with Batman or Wonder Woman. Okay, after Superman, come up with Batman or Wonder Woman. Okay, I give him at least 5 more years. I'm with you. Was that August? August, I'm with you. 5. I give him 5. I give him 5. If we being fair about things, Feige got fucking... I think originally they gave that nigga... After Iron Man, he flopped 4 more movies. All of them 4 that came after, bad. Iron Man was a banger. Them 4 after, bad. All I'm saying, let's just be fair. Let's be fair. Honestly, bro, fans are kind of turning off from the DCU because there's no real icons. I mean, maybe they're not really pushing them. And that's how I said that's a good point, because I mean that maybe they should have went with the Superman and Batman shit, but I don't mind them going with Supergirl. I don't mind it. just make it a good Supergirl movie and make it a good trailer. Make it a good shit. That trailer was mid. If it's gonna be Supergirl, have it be good. And if I go in that Supergirl movie and it's a fucking good movie, when I get through with it, it can flop. So like, what would you rather have? Good movie or a box office hit but bad movie? I think and it's at Warner Brothers' eyes, they'd rather have a box office hit but a bad movie because they need money. So, but me, give me that good movie all the time. I think Supergirl gonna be good. I think it's still gonna be good. The trailer was not mid, it was average. Mid is average. Mid is in the middle. Average. Unless it's a different definition of mid that I'm not thinking of. But yeah, peace.